Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today I want to talk about our favorite MCN, ScreenWaveMedia, the ScreenWave Mafia. So, I saw this post on Reddit. This is from a while ago, but I did want to point this out because I haven't really talked directly about my feelings on MCNs and in particular ScreenWaveMedia in general. I mean, you guys know that I think that this company, this MCN in particular, is very shady. But I wanted to tell everybody out there, you know what? Just wanted to get this off my chest right away, guys. Do not sign up for an MCN. A lot of them are a trap. They just take your fucking ad revenue. Everything that an MCN offers pretty much can be gained yourself. And I think it's good on the Reddit community here for actually pointing this out. So the Reddit post starts off with, for context, my YouTube channel has about 16,000 subscribers and 1.7 million views in total. A few days ago, I was emailed by a representative from ScreenWaveMedia, legit representative with a legit email, asking if I wanted to partner with them. Basically, they would take 20% of my revenue, and in return, the guy I am talking to would become my channel manager. He would help me optimize my channel for the algorithm. You can do that yourself. Get me in contact with potential sponsors. Sponsors can come to you if you grow your channel yourself. And brand deals, and act as a connection to YouTube in case I got in copyright trouble. I kind of doubt that. And we'll talk about a little bit why later on, because people actually pointed this stuff out. Based on the content I make, there's no reason why I should. This is my first time getting contacted by a company like this, so I wanted to make a post to see if anyone else with more experience with this could help me out. Has anyone in here worked with ScreenWave before? Are the services they offer worth the cut in revenue? If the services are worth it, is ScreenWave the best option, or should there be other companies to look at? Getting noticed by a company like ScreenWave is very flattering, but I want to get as much info as possible before I make a decision I might regret. Any advice is appreciated. Thanks. So good on the Reddit community here. They called it out. They're like, no, it's just, don't even bother. Don't do it. They're not going to do anything for you. You're basically giving away 20% of your revenue for bullshit. They mass email channels hoping that people will fall for their generally predatory practices. There's nothing they can do for you in the algorithm that you can't. There's nothing they can do for copyright that you can't. It's not up to YouTube in the case of disputes. So I don't know why they'd act like talking to YouTube is a big help. And you can easily either find sponsors on your own or find a company that will do that and only take a cut of sponsor revenue. Stay away. Brilliant. Nailed it. Yeah. Here's the thing. If you guys want to grow your channels, if you want to do good in the algorithm, obviously don't cuss like I do. I cuss in all of my videos. Don't cuss. Be a good little boy, right? Another thing is you don't have to get clickbaity with your thumbnails, but make them stand out. Make them unique. Thumbnails are actually a bigger part of YouTube than a lot of people realize. If you make your thumbnails like put, high energy kind of colors like green and yellow, not a lot of creators use colors like that, and they will stand out. So, and another thing too, always make sure you're posting videos that are unique. Don't copy what everybody else is doing, because you're in the search algorithm, your videos are going to be buried. Cover something unique. Cover something that's interesting to you, and cover something that nobody else is really talking about. Find a niche, especially with gaming. I know that's hard to do, but don't do what everybody else is doing, because you're not ever going to get anywhere if you're doing things like that. Because when you first start off, your channel is very low in ranking in the algorithm, and if everybody else is covering a topic, your video is really not going to go anywhere. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. But yeah, you can grow your channel on your own. Just be consistent. That's another big key thing, especially nowadays. Be consistent with the content you upload, and be consistent with the timing of your uploads. If you do all these things, your channel is going to take off eventually. You're eventually going to do pretty good in the algorithm, and you'll eventually you'll end up growing. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to grow quickly. You're not going to grow very fast, especially in the current landscape of YouTube. There's so many different people out there. The sad thing is, though, especially with people who do this as a quote-unquote job, the sad thing about it is they treat everybody else like their competition. I like the days of YouTube where we were all a community. where YouTubers were a community and they weren't competition. Nowadays, everybody's just competing for your time, and that's really the bottom line. It's always a competition for your time. So if somebody's watching your channel and not somebody else's, well, that's going to piss people off, really. It's sad that people look at it that way, but I mean, that's the way it is when people are doing this as a job instead of as a hobby. So I definitely don't recommend anybody put all their eggs in the YouTube basket. Definitely want to have something else lined up. Even if it's just a part-time job or something, just have something else lined up in case, you know, YouTube doesn't work out for you or whatever. Don't go into YouTube. This is like a golden rule, but do not go into YouTube expecting a big payout. You have to do this for fun, especially if you're starting a channel up or you're new on YouTube. You definitely don't want to be expecting to get anything out of this, because it's going to take a long time to grow your channel to a significant amount. And even when you first start making money on YouTube, you're not going to be making a lot of money on YouTube when you're first monetizing your channel. So don't go into this expecting a lot of money, because unless you manage to get lucky and really take off, I'm talking, you know, a significant amount of subscribers, like 100,000 or more, you're not really going to be making any kind of significant cash on here, just at least just off of ad revenue alone. So let's continue on here. There's other things that I wanted to talk about. Some of these, this is the thing with these ScreenWave Mafia people, though, man. They really are like these people are in bed with each other, and sometimes they're quite literally in bed with each other. This is so cringy, man. These people are so cringy. And that's the thing, like, they stick together like shit sticks onto a sidewalk on a hot summer day. They really do. It's absolutely embarrassing. I noticed that, like, even when I watch SpawnWave, like, these people, they're just... SpawnWave will never, like, mention a channel unless it's one of his other people in his clique. You know, he like, recently, in one of his gaming, you know, his daily gaming news video things he did, he mentioned something, he brought something up, and then he's like, oh, Beat 'em Ups and Dreamcast guy posted a video about it. I'm like, why would you, out of all the people out there, why would you reference them? Like, first off, these people are really shady, man. I'm just going to be flat out honest with you guys. The only reason I even was nice to 8-Bit Eric was because I felt bad for the dude. I've been very open about this, but I did. I felt bad for the harassment he was going through. He doesn't deserve this shit. I don't condone harassment on 8-Bit Eric or really anybody, really. You know, it wasn't right. The shit he was going through wasn't right. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give the guy a chance. You know, so I was on there. I was on his channel. I was being nice to him and everything. But this guy's kind of bipolar, man. Like, he was all over the place. Like, he's like, he was on my channel, and he's like, oh, okay, cool, you're going to subscribe to me? Okay, I'll unblock you. I'm like, what do you mean? Wait, what? Like, you'll unblock me? I was thinking to myself, but I was never even on your channel to begin with. Which means that he went out of his way to block me, even though I never was on the guy's channel. So he must have, like, went to my About section and then clicked block user from there. So, I don't know, I said something that really triggered this guy, I guess, but it's pretty funny. But I was on his channel, you know, I was watching some of his videos, and this is something I wanted to talk about with 8-Bit Eric. The thing is, like, I was watching his videos, and I couldn't force myself any longer to pretend to care about his content or anything. Like, I've noticed with the ScreenWave Mafia, one of the things they say in the ScreenWaveMedia profile is that they cover indie games. Like, you can sign up for a deal with indie games or whatnot. Who's the one guy in the community who is constantly talking about different indie games? Well, that would be 8-Bit Eric, well, wouldn't it? Now, do you really expect me to believe that this guy goes onto YouTube, plays a couple indie games every now and then? Like, he'll sit there, like, you can kind of tell, like, he doesn't actually care what he's talking about. Now, I have a theory, a game theory, right? I've got a theory here. Maybe I'm right and maybe I'm wrong, okay? But of course, either way, Eric would deny this. I have a theory that Eric actually just gets paid to play these indie games and then give a quick take opinion on it. He plays it for like 10 minutes, he gives an opinion on it, and he moves on. and that's it. Like, I don't think this guy, I seriously doubt this guy actually cares at all about these indie games. He's probably contacted by somebody from ScreenWave to promote these indie games on his channel. And you could tell, like, nobody cares about this shit. Like, he'll get, like, 300 views a video. Like, dude, like, you've got, what, like, 70,000 subscribers or some shit? To get 300 views a video, like, nobody cares. Literally no one cares. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong. He could be actually just passionate about it, but I don't sense the passion in the indie games, man. It seems like he just barely plays these games, and he just gives a first impressions on it. Oh, this game's pretty cool. I really like this thing that you can do, and then, okay, that's it. I'm moving on. And then he just goes plays something else. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, it was pretty weird to me. Like, I couldn't care, man. Like, it was boring, it was uninspiring, and the passion was just not there for me, man. So I couldn't force myself to care. And at the end of all of his videos, he's like, oh, if you enjoyed that video, make sure you click the bell and subscribe and do all this shit. It's like, dude, oh my god. I hate it when people do that shit. So, yeah, I couldn't force myself to care about his channel anymore. So, that's another thing, too. These people that can't handle criticism, man. Cinemassacre has completely went downhill. And if you criticize the quality or anything on a subreddit, on the official subreddit, like, there are places that allow you to criticize him, but it's got to be unofficial subreddits, because if you go onto his subreddit, you'd be like, hey man, you know, I don't really like the quality of the videos anymore. He doesn't seem like a passionate or anything. You know, if you say anything negative, even if you're not really being mean or anything, even if you're just giving your opinion, it's just boom, you're gonna get deleted. So you can't criticize him. And when I criticized 8-Bit Eric, I said that, like, I think he's no better than John Hancock or any of these other frauds. Man, when I said that shit, man, he was quick to reban me, man. I tell you. So it's pretty funny, but yeah, just really, really shady shit. I don't like there's a reason why I call these people the ScreenWave Mafia. There's a reason why we call them that, because they act just like a mafia. They always stick together. They stick in their little clique, and they don't. They'll never criticize one another. Like when Dreamcast guy lied, he literally lied to his audience. And did anybody in their clique call them out? No, of course not. You are not allowed to call out another ScreenWave Media member. Like they no criticism allowed for them. This is basically the way they work. Very shady shit. If you're gonna join an MCN, I don't recommend you do. But if you're gonna join one, stay the fuck away from ScreenWave Media. They're a fraudulent company. Okay, they file multiple copyright strikes against people. They've filed copyright strikes against me. They've filed copyright strikes against other people. And what they like to do a lot of times, if you just look up, if you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Go look it up yourself. Go onto the YouTube search and look up ScreenWave Media music copyright. If you look that up, you'll find videos about all this shit. It's really shady shit. And they've also, what they like to do is they like to copyright strike videos and then get the ad revenue from the videos. They've done that to people before in the past, so very, very shady ass company. Just wanted to give my quick thoughts about ScreenWave Media in general. They have their hand in more things than I even thought. Vinesauce is apparently another member of the YouTube gaming community who actually partnered with ScreenWave. I found that out earlier today, actually, when I was doing more research on this stuff. That's actually a shame, because I actually really enjoy Vinesauce channel, but yeah, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can't look at these people the same. Like, it's always the frauds who are connected with the ScreenWave Media. Like, I don't know, is it just me, or is that what's going on here? Because I swear to God, Beat 'em Ups is involved with it, SpawnWave is involved with it, and you notice he does his little fraudcast thing, right? Yeah, SpawnWave's in it. Who else? Cinemassacre. They own Cinemassacre. That's why the quality has went to shit for Cinemassacre's channel. Just man, they've got their hand in everything. So let's move on here to another post. This is on Kiwi Farms. This is by a guy named Anchors Away. So this guy says, I have a great dislike towards the former retro gaming clicks on YouTube, and I am thankful most of them aren't relevant in the current landscape. Guys like Alpha Omega Sin, The Game Chasers, Brental Floss, never heard of that one, Pat the NES Punk, 8-Bit Eric, etc. only ever managed to maintain any semblance of status as he used to be. Are tight with most con organizers, Too Many Games, MagFest, and the smaller collector fairs are guaranteed to have these fuckers on the guest list. These guys bullied, shamed, and sabotaged so many channels in a failed effort to stop others from growing and outperforming them. They are the embodiment of the boomer meme, blaming young folks for their respective failures, those of which quit making content in said circle ended up working at ScreenWaveMedia, which I'll be ranting about more in just a moment. I've spoke about them before in other threads, but I'll do so here. That's because of ScreenWaveMedia. They're a YouTube network organization that have recently expanded into merch and indie game publishing in an aggressive pursuit to monopolize every venture tied to YouTube. Pretty much if a channel you know is in the network, the likelihood of them no longer using Teespring or distancing from Humble is high. Ryan, the fat slob that owns the Cinemassacre channel, operates ScreenWave and has been aggressively scouting video creators to join up since 2014. That was until the TOS changes back in 2018. Those that end up washed up in the retro gaming space typically transition into a company role as Ryan suffers from the same flaws as Aaron Hansen. Hire friends, not competent workers. Some of the very channels I've mentioned above have either become an on-screen talent, Silvermania, production editors, El Cid, or network managers, 8-Bit Eric, for ScreenWaveMedia. So there are people right now with vastly more successful channels being told what to do by the failures of yesteryear. So for a kid like Scott to be into the retro scene, grow and surpass the old guard, you damn right they latched onto him. I'd have it to gauge a business agreement likely happened at Too Many Games 2019. It's a ScreenWave-owned con. It's also why most partners are semi-forced to attend. Poor Vinny. Talking about Vinesauce there. Scott had the largest panel, and the upload/crossover with AVGN went public around the same time. Most likely filmed it at the ScreenWave offices too. Cost-effective measure. Ryan isn't very well liked either, might I add. Various subreddits, much like Rant Grumps, dedicated to his shady handling of AVGN and in turn ScreenWaveMedia. Fantastic post, and yeah, it absolutely brilliantly sums up ScreenWaveMedia and why no one in their right mind should join up with ScreenWaveMedia. Absolute fraudulent piece of shit company. Don't do it. If you're gonna sign up with an MCN, like I said, I don't recommend anybody do it, but if you're going to, then at least don't sign up for ScreenWaveMedia. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I'm out. Take care, guys.